of Michael Jackson. That Michael Jackson was somehow a form of Archangel Michael. And so, hello, am I still on?
Yeah, yeah.
Archangel Michael. And I read it in Gerald Mass's Ancient Egypt Light of the World that Harmarku is Harmarku, the Hebrew version of Harmarchus. Harmarchus, Greek, Harmarku, Egyptian, which is the Sphinx Horus on the horizon. The Egyptian version, the Hebrew version of that is the Archangel Michael. And we come to find out that it didn't even originate in the Hebrew. The Hebrews got it from Chaldea, that place in Mesopotamia. And so it's just interesting here. It's just interesting here that and we see him popping up in the Ethiopian book of Ethiopian book of Enoch. So we always knew that, and C. Freeman L. would say, well, he was the Archangel Michael, but somehow went astray. One aspect came to me. What some people say, well, hell, Archangel Michael is a great warrior. How could that be here? Well, Michael Jackson conquered the entertainment world to become the greatest entertainer to ever grace the planet Earth. You see what I'm saying? So that was a form of warfare in a way, the type of energy, the same energy that would be used for warfare as the greatest archangel, or this Heru angel, which is also a form of Apollo. That's why they was all jumping around the Apollo theater, because Archangel Michael is a form of the Phoenician Apollo, Phoenician and later on Greek and stuff. But one of the keys which facilitated the downfall was when the guy, and we just found out today that this guy is recanting it, when the first boy from 1993 made these accusations based on the nature of Archangel Michael Jackson was supposed to fight it. When he did it, because that's what Michael does. Michael is the great warrior. He's also Ogun. And Patty can tell you this. We saw Legba make the progression to a whole nother entity when it was Mike Vick. Was when he stood up and apologized and said his.
Oh, right.
Yeah, Legba. We was always waiting on Ogun to make this transformation. Well, this is a form of that particular transformation. But going back, when Michael didn't fight that first guy, it basically made a form of the Archangel Michael's energy go dormant. And as you know, he was never able to regain the spotlight or regain that glory after 1993. You see what I'm saying? After 1993. And so when he did redeem himself and fought it the second time, he won. They even released doves. You see, which is also one of the birds of Archangel Michael, and the bird of Horus is one of those particular parts of what you say. You see, so it's just very interesting. You know.
I want to mention Ogun, the green, and Pan. You know, the green is also Tahuti, the moon god.
Right.
And Michael Jackson with the moonwalk.
And Peter Pan. Yes.
You know, the fairy king. The fairy king.
Right. Now, I make the suggestion that we're talking about an ascension. And I know we quick to talk about conspiracies. But even when they check that heart, and they got to go with this drug thing now, because the heart had no type forms of foul play. It was an ascension. And and let me tell you something. What happens when a lab stays out for weeks? When a lab stays out for weeks, that means that they can't really determine. That's what happened with my mother. They had to ship her to Columbia, South Carolina, Charleston, South Carolina, and they say it's a great mystery. They just chalked it up to some type of fire hazard, but she had ascended, and a flame behind her, and it was beyond medical explanation. And this is what's happening to Michael Jackson. One of the keys is he wasn't supposed to go past 50. It's called the 50 Gates of Understanding in Kabbalah. There's 50 oarsmen in the Jason and the Argonauts. Jason, if you take the K out and the C and the K out of Jackson, you get Jason, Michael Jason.
Right.
And Jason is also Jesus. Well, his mother knew that his mother was Jehovah's Witness. So she knew when she had him that there was one thing about the Jehovah's Witnesses. Michael, Archangel Michael, and Jesus Christ was the same in the Jehovah's Witness. So whenever she named that child Michael, she had Jesus in mind because she knew that, because that was the science in the Jehovah's Witness. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was going to say, I found something, the Talmudic tradition rendered Talmudic, okay, rendered Michael as the name who is the El. Michael also consequently means one who is like God. And this belief is shared by Jehovah's Witnesses, which means his mother knew what she was doing when she named it.
Which set up this energy for this particular child. Now, this child was what is called this child, like I said, and I guess we'll get into the 25s, how these particular people died on the 25s, you know. But one thing about Michael, his story was presented on Christmas Day this year, the same time that Eartha Kitt died, December 25th this year. His story was presented and opened on Christmas Day as A Curious Case of Benjamin Button, Brad Pitt.
Let me make sure. Rich, you still there?
Yeah.
Okay, just make sure you're still there. All right.
Yeah. Brad Pitt was born old and became young when then he ascended. Well, it's the same thing with Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson, when he was a little boy, he was a man-child. He was a man-child. Hello?
Yeah.
And ended up becoming a child man right after Thriller. You see what I'm saying? He wasn't even a child man in his teenage years. To be clear,
that was in the movie, because I don't know if they heard you. Explain that movie again.
The movie is called The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, Brad Pitt.
Mm-hmm.
And this movie where Brad Pitt is born old as an old man, and ends up becoming young, and then dies. Well, it's the same thing with Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson was a man-child. He was a person that if you saw him, he was running things as a young boy. You see what I'm saying? And then he became a child man. You see, so it was a reversal type of thing. You see, but going back, it was key. It had, and this is one of the keys. It had to be on the 50, because the 50 gates of understanding, 50 oars in Jason's ark. There's 50 children that Hercules had. Hercules, which is also the Phoenician Greek Heru, and Hercules is also the Phoenician Archangel Michael. So there's 50 sons of Hercules. He had to die in the 50 states.
Right. To 50 dots.
City of Angels.
50
Archangel
dots.
Michael, huh?
50 dots in the heart of Erzuli, which is the wife of Ogun.
Yeah. Yes. And so he had to die in the 50 states, because he just came back here to rehearse and to get the dancers. You got to get the dancers from America. He had to die in the 50 states. He had to die in the City of Angels, Archangel Michael. You see, I was born in the City of Angels, and so he had to die in the City of Angels. But you see, so
you was telling me too, B, there was a god, angel, a lower angel named Farah in real life.
Yeah. Well, Farah is a governing angel that opens a gateway. Her name is Farron. So the gateway opened when Farron, Charlie's angel, made the ascension. Farron, the gateway opened, and Michael, his spirit took the opportunity to exit, because I don't think he would have survived the 50-city tour in Europe. But Europe is his exile. He wasn't supposed to die in Europe. You see what I'm saying? But the key is he wasn't supposed to go past 50. Now, this was explained to me, and the people out in the thing might have remembered. And I think some things happen to us so that we can have a little bit of knowledge on some things when another event happens. So about 2 years ago, it came to me. I was playing a guy by the name of Noel Pointer. For some of you old enough to remember, Noel Pointer was a childlike prodigy in the 70s that later on in the late 70s became a